So there's been a lot of talk about impeachment over pretty much ever since Trump's been president. There's been talk about impeachment. Um, and it's just, I'm so sick of hearing about it. I'm so sick of hearing about Russia collusion. And it's funny because that's what this whole investigation, this whole Mueller investigation was first founded on was, well, we got to look at Russian involvement in the election. And they're only looking at one side. They're only looking at the Republicans. They're not investigating any Democrats when it comes to the election or Russia collusion. And now they're totally not even investigating Russia collusion anymore, even though that's what Mueller was set up to do, was to investigate Russia. Now they're investigating bank fraud and tax fraud and all these other irrelevant things. And like I said, they're not looking at they're not investigating the Democrats, which shows you right there it's a one-sided investigation. And everybody's calling for impeachment now because they say Trump committed a crime. No, he didn't commit a crime. So what did he do? Well, the whole Manafort thing, that's pretty cut and dry. That didn't really involve the president, didn't really affect the president. Nobody's really talking about that. The one thing they're talking about is the whole Cohen thing. So he paid off a fucking woman that he had sex with, while he was married. He paid her off to not talk about anything. And they're saying that's a campaign contribution. Well, is it a campaign contribution? I mean, celebrities do that shit all the time. They pay off women so it's it protects their self-image and protects their marriage. I mean, so how do we know it's a campaign contribution? How do we know that the only motive behind paying that woman off was to help Trump's campaign or help Trump's election hopes? Maybe it was to save his marriage. Maybe it was to save his political or his personal image in the public eye, since he is a public figure. So I don't even know if that counts as a campaign. Paying off a woman is a campaign contribution. I mean, you're really stretching the law there to say that. I mean, that's very ambiguous. It's up for debate. And Trump paid him back. Trump paid Cohen back. So Trump paid it out of his own pocket. But yeah, it's still somehow a campaign contribution. And if it is a campaign contribution, the argument is, well, they didn't record it. They didn't record the campaign contribution. Then that's a minor campaign violation law against the campaign and not the president. And Obama's campaign was fined $375,000 for doing the same thing. All right, and nobody was talking about that, were they? So that argument is really bullshit. And like I said, they started out with Russia collusion, but once it was obvious that Trump didn't collude with Russia, I mean, what a foolish... I mean, that's such a stupid argument. I mean, there's many things you can criticize Trump on. I am pissed with Trump because he said he was going to leave Afghanistan and get us out of these bullshit wars costing us billions of dollars and not doing any beneficial things to our country, but he stayed in there. And he hasn't done anything about that. I mean, there's many things that I think are legitimate arguments against Trump. Russia collusion is not. Sleeping with women while married is not. I really don't give a shit about that. When people elected Trump, they knew he wasn't the second coming of Jesus Christ. All right? So they argue Russia collusion, except there was no crimes committed. The only crimes you're getting people on is like George Papadopoulos and Michael Flynn lying to the FBI and shit like that, which are process crimes, which have nothing to do with Russia collusion or the Trump campaign colluding with Russia. Paul Manafort, nothing with the Trump campaign or colluding with Russia. These are irrelevant to Trump and his campaign. The whole Trump Tower meeting is completely legal. It's legal to meet with people to try to get opposition research on your opponent. It's something that happens all the time. And it's something that Hillary Clinton tried to do by hiring Christopher Steele to manufacture a dossier against Donald Trump while using Russian sources to help manufacture that false dossier. But this is exactly my point. The Mueller team will not investigate Christopher Steele. They will not investigate the Hillary Clinton campaign when they did the exact same thing. So it's a double standard here. They're probing every single aspect of Trump's life and the associates of Trump's life. And if people committed crimes, I mean, I hope they're prosecuted. But to say that Trump should be impeached is bullshit, because he did not commit a high crime or a misdemeanor or treason or an impeachable offense. He hasn't even committed a crime. There's no evidence of that. But yet the liberals and the Democrats want Trump impeached at all cost. And so does the media too, because and Bill O'Reilly made a point. I'm not like a huge Bill O'Reilly fan, but he said that if they impeach Trump, the media's ratings go through the roof. So the media wants impeachment. The Democrats want impeachment, obviously, because then it hurts the Republicans and it hurts Trump, and they want to do everything to hurt Trump. They don't care about the country. They just care about their own political agendas. So they're probably going to win back the House in 2018. The Senate, who knows? We'll see about that. I mean, the Republicans could still hold the House. Who knows? But probably after the midterms is when you'll really start to hear about impeachment, especially if the Democrats regain control, depending on how well that election turns out for them. But they will do anything to push impeachment. And another thing that does is when they keep pushing impeachment and they keep pushing this lie of Russian collusion, it derails the Trump agenda, and it prevents him from getting shit done that would actually help the country, like improving the economy, etc., etc., etc. Instead, we have to focus on these bullshit issues like Russia, and it really hinders our country. So there you go, people. I am just so sick of hearing about Russia collusion and impeachment. I mean, you could argue that it's immoral for Trump to pay off a porn star or whatever the fuck. I mean, it's probably politically damaging, but to say it's an impeachable offense is bullshit. All right. And by the way, they say that Trump paid off these women and he didn't want it, and it's a campaign contribution because he didn't want it affecting his poll numbers, because if this shit would have came out during the election, maybe people wouldn't have voted for him. Well, I have two arguments against that. One, like I said, people knew that Trump was no angel. And number two, after the Stormy Daniels thing came out and the Karen McDougal thing and how he paid these two women off after that shit came out, his poll numbers did not go down. His poll numbers have been pretty steady throughout his entire presidency. His Real Clear Politics average has been steady. If anything, it's gone up since then. So obviously this didn't affect him that much. It didn't affect him at all. So, and it's amazing that Trump's poll numbers, his Real Clear Politic average is at like 43 or 44%. It's amazing that his poll numbers are that high when everybody, including the media, is bombarding him with lies and calling him Hitler and calling him one of the worst president ever. If you're listening to MSNBC and CNN, you think his poll numbers would be at like 5 or 10%. So that's all I got to say about that. I'm not going to go on forever, but there you go, people. There's my thoughts there.